Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's Maverick here, and today we are watching the grand finale of Appare-Ranman. So, where we left off last episode, well, we are getting ready for the big final showdown, right? Shots have been fired. Well, I mean, shots have been fired throughout a lot of places ever since the our heroes, if you will, got into the hideout of Gil and started battling his henchmen. But now, within the church where Gil actually is, shots have been fired. I'm presuming actually that it's TJ and Dylan doing the fighting against Gil, even though we haven't really seen them appear on the scene yet. I'm presuming that they were probably the first ones on the scene. And well, this is the grand finale. Let's see how exactly they can take down Gil, what exactly his plan is in terms of causing havoc and whatnot in Chicago. Like, what I'm guessing right now is that he's going to make a tactical retreat and just hop on his car and try to drive all the way to Chicago to, I don't know, commit some acts of terrorism. And then, of course, it's going to be up to Appare and the others using their cars to catch up to him and presumably also win the race at the same time. So, is that the case or not? Let's jump into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. And of course, Appare still has a secret weapon he hasn't used yet, which I'm presuming to be a booster or whatnot. Oof. Why aren't you just killing them all right here? So where exactly is Dylan and CJ? I think he absolutely knows about... Holy shit, this dude. Whoa! Oh my god, this dude. Talk about the final boss. Oh, so it's not Gil actually leaving himself. It's the train. So now they're gonna have to catch a train. Wait, you're not gonna even get anything out of it? I like how even though he closes the distance, he doesn't shoot them. Oh, ow. Out of all things he gets done in by a stupid rocket. Wait a minute. Ah, finally. You guys are certainly slow. Okay, so one final battle between them. Alright. Nice. Some final gun kata. Alright. Shouldn't you guys, like, split up to two different sides? Oh. That was a fast catch. Talk about reckless. Holy shit. Okay. Oh my god, these have to be the stupidest henchmen in the world. Oh, it's already quite close to... there we go. Yeah. One front, one back. That's how it works. Ram it! Yeah! Ooh. That is a ton of energy. What's he gonna do? Rockets? Turbine. Okay, yeah, it is a rocket of some sort. Basically using all the steam power. Even if it stops, though, if the dynamite is already lit, what's gonna be the difference? Oh. I guess they are all up to 1,000 free after all. And what about the dynamite? So... I don't... Well, I guess the thing about it is that they couldn't get Sophia down in time. Turn him in? Yeah. Lock him up. Oh wait. The race is to New York? You know, I completely forgot about all this. The race goes on? Something like that? 1 month later? Alright. Right. It's in New York. I kind of forgot about all this. It's actually in New York, not Chicago. Okay, nice drift. Okay. So what final weapon does Appare have? Kosume's. Oh, Mark III. Are they actually going to... You guys need to get back away! Spectators. Oh. Windsurf. Oh! Nice! Man, you guys... 2007? Oh, oh. Okay, shouting is actually number 2. Hmm. Are they actually heading back to Japan now? I mean, these two are heading back to Europe. Yeah. I mean, it's not like he just wants to make cars. This is where we part. Okay, what is Kosume going to choose? Alright, with this, he's gonna stay. Such is life. Kosume's gonna stay, I feel. You got your friends in the Appare and Honodo. You got your potential romantic opportunity in Shalian. But I do feel like it would be more realistic if, you know, they all just go their separate ways, right? This is so Japanese drama. Ah, he's on the dock. He's like, what? He's probably right behind you. I mean, I can. uh? Ah, Cosmos. I was surprised that the other Horuto didn't come out when he said Horuto. Oh. It seems that there's still a little bit more after this. I presume we'll probably be seeing like his attempts at going to the moon, or to fly, anyways. Oh, yep, here we go. The aftermath. Alright. Potentially one more scene. Maybe two more scenes. Man, that Kusume awakening scene. I want more battles like that. Oh no, actually there's no. Damn it. Well, see you guys after this. Alrighty guys, that is it for Appare-Ranman. I gotta say though, I was kind of disappointed it didn't go a little bit more in depth at the very end there and showed us some scenes from everyone, right? Because come on, we've been together for so long. You could, the least you could do is sort of have a nice proper send off to every single one of these people, right? Like I could totally see maybe Leon and Sophia working on another one of their cars. I could totally see Xialian like basically racing, and then just a free scene cameo showing her drifting in a race car or something like that. TJ's probably still out doing his own thing, just doing whatever, and potentially Dylan would be maybe making peace with himself, going to his wife's tombstone, something like that, and maybe we can even see Gil in jail or something like that, right? So there's just so much stuff that you can already imagine to let us see what they are actually up to, what they're doing, etc., etc. And I really wish they could have included that in here. It's not necessary, but it's just very nice to see. I love the endings where we can see brief send-offs to each of the characters, especially since they have been with us for quite the time, right? And as for the rest, in this particular episode, I have two scenes that are my absolute favorites. One would be when Gil takes on Appare and the others within the abandoned church. Both times, that was absolutely cool, and the animation there was actually quite decent as well. That looked like a proper fight scene there. So that was definitely pretty epic, and you can really see the power difference that Gil has over all the others, right? Which actually kind of makes his later battle with TJ and Dylan seem a bit lackluster, because you would think that someone who was able to take care of these other guys with such ease, why would he have so much trouble against TJ and Dylan? Although, I guess to be fair, they are more or less on the same level, right? They are all part of the 1003. We can instead probably say that the reason they weren't performing up to par in the past episodes is because Gil's sort of psychological impact got to them, right? But for sure, I definitely enjoyed the battle and the fights between Gil and Appare and the others, rather than the later battle where he fought against Dylan and TJ. So, that's just throwing my opinion out there. And then the second one that I really love, the second scene I really love from this episode would be the one where at the very end there, and Cosmi's like, hell yeah, screw it, let me do this, and just hang out of the car, sort of like windsurfing, or what's it called? No, I kind of forgot. What's the sport called when you're on something like a windsurfing, windsailing, something like that. You're standing on basically like almost like a surfboard, but you have this sail on you, and then you basically lean back and forth to control it, right? It reminded me so much of that. Now, obviously, flying through the air and all that's kind of questionable, but then again, the physics of this anime were never really all that accurate either way, right? So, it's a pretty cool scene, right? And definitely unexpected, so I'll give it a pass. And of course, they win in the end, and then we get the entire harbor, we get the entire departure scene and all that, which is, of course, funny and hilarious, but, yeah, not too much to talk about that. The point of confusion I had during the middle of the episode there was actually because I thought the plan was for Gil's henchmen to actually light up the dynamite and set it at the right timer to blow just right as the train hits the station, right? But apparently they never got around to actually igniting the freaking dynamite. So what exactly is that? So basically, I was like, why exactly did they need to stop the car, right? So I think later on, upon rewatch, it's mostly because they couldn't get Sophia down, down in time, so they needed to stop the train from crashing, or otherwise Sophia would die, right? So that's basically that. So I do like that, he had a good reason for stopping the train, even though, if they were still following their original plan and the dynamites were already lighted, well, that's not going to help you. It's still going to stay within the station and blow the entire station up, right? And by the way, what kind of stupid plan is this? Gil, even though he is super powerful and all that, he's definitely a little bit loco, right? Because you have this opportunity to earn money or whatnot. I was thinking maybe he wanted to cement himself as one of the big boys and really demand a huge ransom from the the U.S. government or something like that, but instead, he's just doing it because he can, because he wants to spread his ideology of violence and power being the most supreme, right? So, I don't know about that, man. Probably one of his more boneheaded moves that we've seen so far. So yeah, that's basically it for this episode. As for this series as a whole, it is an original series, right? And thank you guys for reminding me. I think a few episodes ago, I kind of slipped my mind that this was an original series. So with original series, it's always kind of a hit and miss, and especially in the parts where how they can actually make the entire story flow together, but not make it contradict each other or have some logical flaws, right? I feel like for the most part, they did this pretty well. It's a nice enclosed story, and we also get character growth as well, right? Appare is probably the most obvious example of this, from being someone that really gave no shit about others. He only wants to immerse in his own studies and whatnot, to the point where he does care a lot about all these other people as well. Growing up, right? Really growing up. This series is actually classified as both historical and I guess you could also say, well, it's classified more as historical, but because of its sort of science elements that were in here, I was making the comparison to Dr. Stone many times, right? However, the more that I think about it, the more the comparison doesn't really make sense, because this series never really went through the how can I put it, the knowledge, the sciencey portions of it all that much. Maybe back in the first episode, where I still remember Appare sort of calculating the distances and whatnot, and sort of calculating how much fuel is needed, how can they actually survive, etc., etc. Later on, though, all these other things that he did and whatnot, it's not really, there's no real scientific explanation for all that, including the device that he used twice in this episode, right? The emergency acceleration device. Like, how he was able to actually do it, don't know, but that's not really the point of this series, right? Speaking of which, also the historical portion, even though it is trying to set itself in historical US, I already did the research, right, including using the stars and whatnot, and I'm pretty confident that I've pinpointed it basically at the turn of the century, in basically 1900, or plus or minus maybe 3-5 years, something like that. It's definitely not historical at all in terms of the outfits they wear, the devices they use, and so on and so forth, right? There's too much to actually give as an example here. So definitely not historical. It's definitely more so in the not so serious category type of anime, trying to be more of a comedy and whatnot. But then again, it did get serious in a little bit in the middle, right? Particularly with Kosume's story. I guess Xiaolin's story is also kind of, well, actually, now that I think about it, all of the sort of main characters have some sort of past that they don't want to face, right? Except for Leon and Sophia. So Xiaolin has that, TJ has that, Dylan has that. Who are they else? I mean, Kosume has that, right? So we do get a lot of the serious side as well, which is obviously a good thing here. And yeah, and I mean, the overall animation of this series is definitely much better than I was expecting, to be honest. It's actually really well animated, I feel. The story-wise, pacing-wise, all pretty good. Of course, Hot Springs episode was a little bit out there, but I mean, I get it. You gotta put in the fan service somehow, right? So I'm not too complaining about that part. And as for the rest, I do feel like the characters could have been developed a little bit more, particularly, for instance, Hototo, or indeed, even Appare himself, right? Even though we do see Appare's growth here, can embody itself into further growth through some various other different kinds of means, right? And really, I don't know. To me, even though obviously the main cast is Appare and Kosume and potentially also Hototo as well, I find that I really like Gil's character a lot more, right? Just because he has this power to him, he has this aura to him. It's just cool, right? And then him actually double playing as Richard and then basically fooling everyone there, that was awesome. Which is why I wish that they could have gave him a bit more justice in the sense of how it actually turned out in the end, right? Don't get me wrong, I do want Gil behind bars, I do want them to catch him. It's just that I feel like the way that they ended it was kind of, sort of, just okay-ish, right? In fact, alright, maybe even kind of lame, in a sense. Although it does go back to its roots of comedy. So, you can make an argument either way. So, but in any case, definitely I feel a successful original here. Definitely a pretty interesting concept, and good fundamentals as well in terms of the story, in terms of the animation, the sound, etc., etc. All pretty damn good, right? So yeah, I'd say this would be a success from their side. Are they going to do anything beyond this, like make a sequel or whatnot? Allow us to get back to Appare's adventures when he eventually decides to build airplanes. Probably not, but still, it was an enjoyable ride while it lasted. So, in any case, that's it for my final review of Appare-Ranman. Hope you guys have enjoyed this series so far. If you guys did stumble upon this channel, stumble upon my videos by chance because of this series, well, this is the way that I typically do all my videos, with a blind reaction portion, a review portion, and all that. And if this is something that you like, feel free to leave a subscription. And a comment, and all that good jazz. You guys know what to do, right? And if this doesn't actually suit your taste, well, that is fine too. So hopefully we will be able to meet again in another series, which you guys might be interested in. Anyways, that's episode 13 of Appare-Ranman. Thank you guys all for watching. This is Maverick, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.